Hey guys, HD Corruption here, and I'm bringing you a video on what I think they should do to the skills to either make them better or to, nerf them because they're so strong. Um, so yeah, skills. Obviously, I don't have all my skills unlocked on this character because I just finished. I have to do the encounters, but whatever. Shock turrets, they did nerf them where the after effect doesn't last nowhere near as long, but it's still a problem because you have groups of 4 that are just like running 2 shock turrets and just owning, simply because like having a shock turret is like having another person on your team, and with that you're just basically just owning the server, man. Um, and with everyone having such high skill power, like the turret has such like a lot of health, so I think they should nerf that. I honestly think, in my opinion, the shock turret or the turrets themselves should only work on the NPCs, but pretty sure that's not how it'll work, and that's just my opinion on that and what I think they should do. Um, Smart cover. This is a big one. Like, it's ridiculous. If you have a high enough skill power, you're basically having this and like half of this. It's basically combining these two, the survivor and the tactical, all in one with the smart cover. Because look, my skill power is only at 26k, and I take 50% less damage. That's over half of that. It's crazy, like. And what I think they should do to combat that is lower the damage resistance down a little, because there's no point in running this if you're gonna run that, because you're basically having this up all the time. It's insane. I mean, yeah, you're not even really confined to staying on smart cover because it lasts for 5 seconds. Like when you leave the smart cover, you still have it up for 5 seconds. And people are bouncing on and off smart cover to get the damage resistance and the damage buff, and combine that with Sentry Shotgun, unbeatable. There's nothing you can do against that. You know, I think they should nerf the damage buff and the damage resistance down. I'm not for sure to, how low, but definitely lower than what it can be. Because I think the max is like, damage resistance is like 75%, I think, and I'm not for sure what the damage buff is. I think it's 50. So it's like smart cover is basically survivor and tactical link combined. Like that's so OP. It's not even fair at that point. I think they should just nerf the damage resistance and the damage buff down, and make it where you have to stay in smart cover. Like you can't just bounce on and off it to get the damage buff and damage resistance. Yeah, that's my opinion on that. Sticky bombs. They sticky bombs aren't that big of a problem, simply because of final measure. But regardless of that, I don't think sticky bombs should one-shot you if you're not wearing final measure. I think it just should be like, no matter what your health is, it should always take like half your health. Like it's supposed to be a team thing. It's just in my opinion. I think when you get shot with a sticky bomb, it should always take 50% of your health. You know, like it shouldn't be 250,000 HP damage or whatever it is. I think it should always be like the max should be 50% of your health instead of just taking 250,000. It should be like percentages of health. Like, and maxed out sticky bomb takes 50%. That's just my opinion. I don't know if you guys would agree or not, but like I said, this is just my opinion on what that I think they should do to the skills. So that's what I think they should do to the sticky bomb. Pulse, in my opinion, Pulse isn't that bad because you can always counter the damage Pulse with Conceal. So I don't think it's that bad. Pulse is fine in my opinion because you're seeing a lot more groups now run Scrambler Pulse to counteract the damage Pulse. So damage Pulse. So I don't really think the Pulse needs a nerf or anything. I think Pulse is just fine. Overheal, in my opinion, Overheal is fine as well. The thing with that is like people triage, and you're basically getting your skills back like insanely fast if you're running in a 4-man group. So I don't think the problem is the overheal. I think the problem is triage. Heal an ally with the skill to reduce skill cooldowns by 15%. And if you have a maxed out medical wing, which I'm pretty sure everyone has, that heal lasts for, I'm not for sure how long it lasts actually. I think it lasts for like 6 seconds, 5, 6 seconds. But in that time, you just have people running in and out of the heal, you know, you're triaging, you're getting your skills back like almost instantly. So, in my opinion, I think they should nerf triage from 15 to 5. You know, cut it down because, you know, people are just man, people are just triaging in front of this, like in front of your face while you're just laying into them, and it's just basically doing no damage because, you know, after they get done triaging, they're just popping another heal, and you know, you're just shooting like fucking pellets at them basically, and they're doing no damage. So, you know, I think that should be nerfed down to 5% because triage is just insanely strong right now. Yeah, like that's my opinion on that. You know, I don't think it's the overheal. Like I said, it's definitely triage. You know, nerf that down to 5%, and I think everything will be fine. Um, recovery link. Uh, basically, no one's running this simply because it's useless right now. Heals and cures the user and nearby allies, revives downed allies within range, can overheal beyond maximum health. The overheal is so weak that there's no point in running it. And I think it's like a 2-second delay, like when you hit it, you gotta do the whole Superman, like, pose or whatever, and, you know, picks up your teammates. It's the delay gets people killed, you know? I think there shouldn't be a delay. Like when you hit it, it should just automatically pick up teammates, and not just pick them up, but heal them to full health and give them an overheal, as well as your teammates, like everyone, not just the downed one. Because this skill is supposed to be powerful, and this recovery link is poo. Like there's nothing else you can say to that other than poo. Like I said, I think, you know, when you hit it, it should automatically just pick up teammates like that, give them full health and an overheal, and, you know, everyone in the group, not just the down teammate. I think then it would be much more viable than just everyone running Survivor. Alright, well, since we're here, Survivor Link. Way too strong. Way too strong. You know, you're having groups of 4, like, hitting it, and then, like, just like the other day, I was fighting a group of 4, and I almost had one guy down, and because he was getting ready to die, he hit the Survivor link, which gave it to all 4, which then they just destroyed me because I didn't have a Survivor link. I don't think that's how that should be. I think, and this is again in my opinion, I think a Survivor link, the damage resistance should be 100%. You should take no damage when you hit it, and the movement speed is fine. However, I don't think you should be able to deal any damage. So while your damage resistance is 100%, you're taking no damage, you should also be dealing 0 damage. Because, you know, this is a Survivor link. Like, I believe when you hit this, you're in deep shit, and you need to regroup, get out of trouble, you know, get better positioning, you know, to fight back better. I don't think you should hit this simply because you're either outnumbered and you need a better tactic to go up against them because you're outnumbered and you're just getting dealt with. I think this should be a tool where you hit it because you're in bad positioning and you need to go and you need to regroup, you need to get better positioning. You know, I think the Survivor, you know, should be damage resistance 100%, movement speed's fine, duration's fine, however, you should not be dealing any damage when you hit this. Because this is just supposed to be, you know, a regroup link, in my opinion. Like, this is a Survivor, so you're in trouble. When you hit it, you should be able to regroup, get out of trouble, and get better positioning. You know, that's just, again, my opinion. Tactical link, this needs to be buffed. Oh, whoops. The tactical link definitely needs to be buffed. not by a lot. You know, I think the damage buff should be like 60%, and the critical hit chance should be 30. You know, it's a slight increase, but it's just not as powerful as Survivor, which none of these links are as powerful as Survivor right now. You know, it's this again. These links are supposed to be powerful tools, and the only powerful one is the Survivor link. Um, you know, I think they should just increase the damage buff, crit chance, and make the duration 15 seconds. Uh, because the only one I think that doesn't need 15 seconds is, of course, the recovery link, because you know you're just picking people up. But you know, when people hit this, you know, and you hit this, you're still not doing enough damage to like kill them, because they're taking 80% less damage and you're only dealing 50. So you know, I think the damage buff should be increased to 60 and the crit chance to 30. It's not a lot, but it still would make this a little bit more valuable than what it is now. You know, that's just in my opinion. Again, you know, I can't stress enough that, you know, all these are just my opinion. Um, the support station, I think that needs to be hellaciously buffed. Um, the healing rate needs to be at least like, in my opinion, 5 to 10k. That way, it's much more valuable to run. The health should be increased a lot to at least 50, because like I know I don't have a lot of skill power, but I'm not for sure what the max is. But you know, in my opinion, it needs to be at least like 50 to 60k health, because you know, when you see it, you just shoot it like 5, 6 times and it's gone and they're screwed. The revive time needs to be shortened. It needs to be like 3 seconds. You know, when you're down, you're up. You know, because these skills are meant to be helpful. You know, the only ones that are helpful are the first aid, pulse, sticky, turret, and the smart cover. And that's just because smart cover is hellaciously OP. So are sticky bombs, and so is shock turrets. Like, these three are hellaciously OP. There's nothing really you can do to counter it. You know, the only counter that you can use is, of course, Pulse, and Pulse has a counter, which is the Scrambler. Yeah, you know, buffs, support stations. You know, the healing rate needs to be increased to at least, you know, 10k. I'm thinking like 5 to 10k, between that range. Revive time needs to be at least 3 seconds, because why not? It needs to be helpful, and when you're down for 5 seconds, you're dead. Lifetime's fine, 30 seconds is fine. The health needs to be increased to, I think, at least 50 to 60k. That way it's not, you know, 3-4 shotted and it's gone. Seeker Mine, I think, is fine. Ballistic Shield, I don't use it. So I can't tell you. You know, all these skills I've used, and then I can give you opinion on it. The Ballistic Shield I actually have never used, so I don't really know about that skill. So I mean, I'm guessing maybe increase the damage resistance and the damage increase, maybe, because that's actually pretty low. Yeah, only 20% at most. Yeah, that needs to be increased a little to like 25 to 30, and the damage resistance to like 20. But yeah, guys, that's about it. I've covered all the skills that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, those are just my opinion on what I think they should do to the skills, to either make them better or, again, to nerf them. But yeah, guys, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and remember, the corruption is always better in HD. See you later, guys.